The city of Sodom was steeped in depravity, its wickedness a stench that reached the heavens. God, in his divine justice, decided to bring judgment upon it, but not before sending 2 angels disguised as men to see for themselves. They arrived at the city gate just as the sun was setting. There they found a man named Lot, a righteous man in a wicked land, who sat waiting. When he saw them, he knew they were not ordinary travelers. With genuine hospitality, Lot urged them to come to his home, insisting they not spend the night in the dangerous public square. They accepted his invitation, and he prepared a feast for them. But the night was far from peaceful. Before the men could lie down, the entire male population of the city, from boys to old men, surrounded Lot's house. They pounded on his door, their voices loud and full of malice. "Where are the men who came to you tonight?" they demanded. "Bring them out so we can know them." The mob's intentions were clear. They sought to assault the guests. Lot, horrified, went outside and faced the angry crowd alone. He begged them not to harm the men under his protection, even offering his 2 virgin daughters in their place, a desperate act to save his guests. The mob scorned his offer and turned their anger on him, threatening to do worse to him than to the strangers. Just as they were about to break down the door, the 2 angels reached out, pulled Lot back inside and bolted the door. Then, with a flash of divine power, they struck the mob with a blinding light, leaving the men of Sodom stumbling around in the dark, unable to find the entrance. Inside, the angels revealed their true purpose. They told Lot that God was about to destroy the city because its sins were so great. They commanded him to gather his entire family, his wife, daughters, and sons-in-law, and flee. Lot rushed to find his daughter's fiancés, pleading with them to leave before it was too late, but they thought he was joking and laughed at his frantic warnings. As dawn broke, the angels hurried Lot and his family out of the house. The angels had to physically take them by the hand, as Lot's family still hesitated. The moment they were outside the city, the angels gave them one final critical command: "Flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere on the plain. Escape to the mountains or you will be swept away." But Lot, overwhelmed by fear, pleaded to be allowed to go to a small nearby town called Zoar, a request the angels granted out of mercy. The sun had just risen as Lot and his family entered Zoar. It was at that very moment that the sky opened up. God rained down fire and burning sulfur on Sodom and its neighboring city, Gomorrah. The entire plain was engulfed, and all its inhabitants and vegetation were consumed. During their escape, Lot's wife, against the explicit command, turned to look back at the destruction. In that instant, she was turned into a pillar of salt, a lasting monument to her disobedience. Only Lot and his 2 daughters were saved. Later, fearful of staying in Zoar, Lot and his daughters moved to a cave in the mountains. Believing they were the last people left on earth, the daughters made a desperate plan to continue their family line. On 2 separate nights, they got their father drunk and each lay with him. From these acts, 2 sons were born: Moab, who would become the father of the Moabite nation, and Ben-Ami, who would father the Ammonites. If you are loving this video, please hit both that subscribe and like button to help this message to spread far and wide. Check out the rest of the Bible Stories playlist to enjoy heartwarming events of the Bible brought alive. Thank you for supporting the Wake Up channel. God bless you.